welcome back to our channel, Living Jody. I am Jessica, and this is the stunningly handsome Cody.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Today we're making a wedding video. We're going to talk all things Nixon wedding related.
I figured we'd give you an update because it's been a while since we talked about the wedding, right?
Yeah. And we get questions all the time about how the wedding planning's going and where we're at. And we're going to tell you guys a pretty rough rundown of what our plans are for the wedding, before and after. And then we are going to answer some questions that you guys sent to me on my Instagram story.
We have the bachelor and bachelorette party coming up.
We do. Next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when we plan on posting this video, but we leave on Friday, August 10th for our bachelor party.
Yeah, so it's coming up quick. I got all my Marine Corps buddies going. So my groomsmen lineup is all Marine Corps infantrymen that I served with. So that should be interesting.
We are going down to Miami. When we first started talking about the bachelorette party, which was pretty much immediately after the engagement, I asked him how he felt about having a joint bachelorette party. And it was kind of, you were just okay with it, right?
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, there was like no further conversation. He was like, yeah, let's do it. And I've always wanted to go to Miami for my bachelorette party. So right off the gate, we both agreed we were going to go down there. Is it a booger?
Yeah.
Thank you. Hair?
Yeah.
We both agreed that we were going to go down to Miami together with our entire wedding party. And that was like the end of that conversation. So it's been like 5-6 months in the making now, and it's finally here.
Yeah. And we both wanted to do things with like our closest friends, especially after the year we've had. So this is like the perfect way to top it off and kind of share whatever fun times with our friends.
Yeah, that's a great point. We've had such a hectic, crazy year that we haven't been able to spend as much time with some of our really close friends as we'd like to. So this is a great trip to kind of like rekindle those bombs.
Yeah. Well, my friends don't get out much because they don't really have a good excuse to
Your friends
leave
don't get out much?
their parts of the country. Yeah.
I believe you.
Oh. They're all in separate parts of the country. They all have families. Most of them are married. So to have an opportunity to actually get out and do something, it's rare. But
I've
they have
only
a good
met one,
excuse
right?
now.
One of your groomsmen?
No,
Brian?
You met Travis.
Travis and Brian. Love his friends that I have met. Travis I like to call Kenny Powers because he's just like, he's Kenny Powers, like to a T. So I look forward to spending some time with him in Miami because he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
His bridal party or groomsmen, whatever. His groomsmen are like the polar opposite of my bridesmaids because all of his groomsmen, for the most part, are married with children. And the only person that's married in my bridal party is Lori. So it's just a bunch of single girls running around Miami. And I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So for our date, Cody proposed on February 13th of this past year. And how did we decide that we were going to get married this year? Was it my choice? Was it our choice? I don't even remember.
What do you mean? Like where we were going to get married at?
No, the date. Like that we were going to get married in 2018.
Honestly, I feel like it was just venue choice and like our ability to like pick a spot. Because
the first thing that happened was somehow we decided we were going to get married this year, and that hindered our location options because people plan their weddings years in advance. So because we decided somehow, I honestly don't know if it was my idea, if it was our idea. I don't remember how 2018 came to be, but we always move at a pretty fast pace, so it sounds like right up our alley anyway.
But it's on a Sunday because we couldn't get a Saturday.
We are getting married Sunday, October 14th. If you haven't seen our Save the Date video, we are going to link it below for you to watch it because it's super adorable. And if you didn't know that we have a date, then you missed that video and you should definitely go back and watch it. But we picked Sunday because we physically went to 2 locations to view it because our options were so limited.
Yeah.
We only had 8 or 9 months to plan a wedding, and we had to find a venue. I knew I wanted to get married in the fall. I always knew I was going to be a fall bride. It's my favorite time of the year. Especially, I knew we were going to get married in California. It just made more sense. He tried like once or twice to convince me to have it in Texas, but yeah, you did. You made like a very small effort because you knew it was hopeless.
It probably wasn't too big of an effort.
No, it wasn't very large. Yeah, it was just kind of like, hey, if we get married in Texas, it'll be cheaper. And I was like, no.
I don't know if it would be though. Our venue in California was actually pretty affordable.
Yeah, it was surprisingly affordable. We expected to spend double than we actually did. So
now, mind you, we're paying for the entire thing.
Yeah,
we're paying for
We're paying for it. Tell us. So we went to 2 venues. Both were stunning. One was 1,000% cheaper. So we went to that one. Yeah, way cheaper. But I think you liked the cheaper one better anyway.
Yeah, I did.
Before you even knew the price.
Because that one's on like a mountaintop. The other one was by the ocean.
Which was cool.
It had a cool view, and I don't know if we can really talk about the place, but it had a pretty historical reference. It was right next to Beyonce and Jay-Z's house. Yeah,
Beyonce and Jay-Z lived right next door to the first venue we were going to get. And then a couple days later, we went and we saw a second venue, and it was so much cheaper. And I loved that it was on top of a mountaintop because it kind of went with the theme of Cody proposing to me on top of Runyon Canyon. So it's pretty special. And I definitely wanted the ceremony and the reception to be in the exact same place. I didn't want anyone to have to travel from location A to location B. I've been to weddings like that, and I don't like them. I think they're... No offense if your wedding was like that. Not my style. A lot of church weddings are like that because they have to drive from the church to wherever. The reception, yeah.
Ours is outdoors.
Yeah. Cody asked for one thing in the wedding, and I'm sure we've talked about it 1,000,001 times, but in case you've missed it, what was the one thing?
Yeah, Texas Roadhouse is going to cater the wedding. That's it.
Yeah.
And they are pretty affordable too. They have always done me right, and they still are. Yeah,
so I didn't know if it was going to be possible. We went through a lot of emailing back and forth with corporate, and it's a franchise, so it's not really up to corporate office. Corporate was on board right from the get-go. And once we found our location, we were able to solidify Texas Roadhouse because there's one an hour away. So it was an easy setup for them.
Yeah, and the leadership there was really, really awesome to work with. So
leadership.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, hey, everybody, it doesn't matter.
His face lights up when he talks about Texas Roadhouse. Even more so.
Every time we've been to a place, keep in mind, part owners of Texas Roadhouse are also the managing partners there. So they actually have a managerial role and an active role in whatever Texas Roadhouse that they're in. They don't just sit on the side and collect money. I've looked into this. And we've talked to, how many have we talked to?
You should see your face right now.
We've talked to multiple.
Look at your smile. What? You're unbelievable. He's going to have an affair with Texas Roadhouse.
But it was very cool to work with them, and they were very accommodating.
Very, very accommodating. Kind of like anything you want kind of a deal. So I was very happy to accommodate Cody's one and only request because they made it super, super simple.
And they're probably going to be the best out of anybody that we would have probably picked. I mean, just the way they have acted and treated us and how accommodating that they've been, they are going to pull off a pretty good cater job. And my family is from the Midwest, and a lot of my friends are just meat eaters, just they don't really eat anything unless they had a mother. So that whole spread is going to be awesome for them.
Yeah, it's not going to be buffet style, by the way. That was my stipulation. It's all going to be served. I did not want a buffet at the wedding. Again, no offense if that's your style, not my style. Color scheme. That was gross. Color scheme. So I did something that was a little bit unpopular too. Honestly, the only people that's complained, though, is your side of the family. None of the other guests have complained. But everyone who is in attendance to the wedding has to wear black. The reason for that being, I have like a little bit of OCD, and I just think the uniformity of it is just going to be so much more picturesque. So everyone in black, everyone looks great in black. It's easy to shop for. It's not like it's some abstract color where you have to like really go dig. Everyone sells black everything. So it's all black, black tie. I want everyone to look gorgeous. It's our big day. I want everyone to be dressed to the nines. And we're gonna have a blast regardless, but I just wanted everything to be very uniform in that sense. And when it went to the color scheme, it was the polar opposite. The flowers are like my favorite part of weddings. So the flowers, I think, is where our biggest budget in the wedding is. Cody, when we went
Let's not talk about the invitations.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to the, well, while you said that, the wedding save the dates have gone out. The invitations have not yet gone out. So, but we got a good deal on the invitations. But they're really beautiful invitations. Wait till you see them. What?
I feel like in this day and age, and I hate to be hip with the times, but I feel like sending out a paper invitation seems, I don't know, unnecessary.
Okay. Fair.
But doesn't matter. Whatever.
But I'm also the type of person. I'm also the type of person, I like putting pen to paper. Like this, for instance. I wrote down a list of topics for us to talk about. I don't like typing things. I want to feel pen to paper. I still like actual books. I don't read digital books. There's something just nostalgic about it, I guess you could say. I don't know. It's my style. We had the option of doing electronic save the dates and to save money, and I just didn't want to do it. It's not a corner that I wanted to cut, so.
Well, I tell you, they're nice. Extremely nice. It's funny because a lot of people thought they saved the dates for the invitations. No, wait till you get the invitation. That thing is...
It's really pretty. They're on leather, we'll put it that way. Not real leather, like all of you guys that are like going to be like, oh my God, it's on leather. It's animal friendly, I swear.
I just got done talking about eating things with mothers. I don't think this is a PETA-friendly video.
Okay. So the color scheme, the flowers, the entire color scheme of the wedding is white. I wanted white flowers everywhere. I wanted a very romantic wedding. I wanted flowers dripping from the ceiling, and I wanted very uniform flowers on the table, not like an array of different kinds. So I think we did white roses for the table. I'm not entirely sure. I have to double check. But we did white flowers everywhere, lots of candles. I wanted like all kinds of different candles. I wanted candlesticks. I wanted candlelight tea candles, whatever they're called, different shapes and sizes. I just wanted a really romantic feel for it all. So everything's white. It's the polar opposite of how people are going to dress, and I think that the two are going to bounce off of each other fairly well. I'm excited to see it. The size of the wedding. The size of the wedding
100
changed. Just 100 people. And
pretty much.
It changed a lot. In the beginning, I thought we were going to do 200 people, and then we cut it in half very quick. And I like it. 100 people, I think, is a great size. It actually might be a little less than 100 people because I think we sent out 100 invitations. So once that is cut back.
I mean, there's people on the outer fray that like we could invite still. We just
the outer fray
because we have to figure out how many people are bringing their kids and stuff like that.
Yeah. So once we get an RSVP, we'll get like an actual number. But as of right now, we're shooting for 100, and there can't ever be more than 110 people for the venue. So 100 people. I think it's a small, intimate size. Oh.
Yeah.
And a lot of people asked if fans will be at the wedding. Fans will not be at the wedding, specifically because of the capacity size, and also because we wanted this to be about us and our families and our friends, and not about like work stuff and TV stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no fans at the wedding. We're sorry, guys. But yeah, my dress. Cody knows nothing about my dress. I didn't want anyone to tell him anything about my dress. dress is top secret. I don't want him. We're not going to do a first look at the wedding. Do you know what a first look is? When you see me before I walk down the aisle. I don't want to do that.
No.
We're not doing that. The first time he sees me in a wedding dress is going to be when I'm walking down the aisle, and that is it. With that being said, we went to probably 5 wedding shops, maybe 6. I've tried on lots of different styles of wedding dresses, and in the end, I picked the wedding dress that I think that you would have picked for me.
That's how you picked it?
Yeah.
Nice.
I wanted to be in a dress that you would, out of all of them, I think you would have picked this one.
All right.
It was important for me that he just like fall in love with me all over again once he sees me in the wedding dress.
That makes sense. So it's obviously form-fitting.
Perf. Anyway, last but not least, the honeymoon.
Yeah.
Don't just spit it out like
Okay,
you did
so
with the wedding stories. Like,
where I'm
tell a
telling people?
story and like then reveal it.
I don't know if there's a story behind it. You had a few places you wanted to go.
This was my number one.
We did our research, and the one that we're going to looks like it's going to be a good time.
Yeah. We just started talking about honeymoons recently and what we wanted from it. And Cody doesn't really have anything specific that, like, you're just kind of like, yeah, whatever, wherever.
Well, my expertise is here in the United States.
But we're not going anywhere in the United States. That was his one request for the honeymoon, and I immediately shot it down. It's not happening. We're not staying in the U.S. for our honeymoon.
Yeah, I think what bothers me more than anything else is anytime there's like a far location. Like logistical movements are just painful for me. I hate planes, traveling long distances over many hours. It's just boring to me.
But I was just in a car ride for 15 hours for him, so
Yeah,
now
that's
he
true.
has to do a long plane ride for
We
me.
just took Paisley back.
So this is I'm cashing in on my IOU.
Yeah. But the Marine Corps kind of ruined things for me because there's so many times when a battalion's 1,000 Marines. So to transfer 1,000 Marines from one location to another, it's not an easy task, and it actually takes an extremely long time to set it up logistically. And I mean, there's been times where there's been a week and a half logistical movement just to transfer this many bodies over to this location, and it sucks. It just ruined me.
But we're going somewhere far.
I'll edit that part out.
No, you don't have to edit that out. We are going to Bora Bora, and it's someplace that I've always wanted. When I think honeymoon, I think of a place that you're never going to get to go back to, and Bora Bora is pretty far. And I've always wanted to go to Bora Bora, and I've always wanted like an action-packed honeymoon. I want to go snorkeling, I want to go skydiving, I want to do a bunch of really exciting things. And I've always wanted to go skydiving for my first time in Bora Bora, like over the water.
That'd be cool.
And they have really cool skydiving there. So we will be staying at the Four Seasons in Bora Bora after our wedding. And I'm super excited about it.
Yeah.
We have one of those villas right on the water, like the cabana things where like they have the glass floor, and you can see the fish right underneath. Yeah. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Anything else?
Now
you
let's
said
do
questions.
questions. Okay, I didn't let Cody read these beforehand. And Swaggy actually asked this question. Will you guys have someone vlogging the wedding for YouTube, or is that private?
The wedding?
Mm-hmm. I think we'll probably put our wedding video on YouTube.
Eventually.
Yeah. Probably like after we get back from the honeymoon and settle in and you're trying to read.
Wait, I didn't. What else did it say?
No.
Anything bad?
No, why would it say something
I
bad?
don't know. Why you pulled it away from me?
Because I don't want you to read the questions before I ask them.
Oh.
But yes, our wedding video will eventually make it on Living Jody, so stay tuned. Will Bear be involved in the wedding? A lot of people, all of the questions that I asked were asked by like several people, including Bear's involvement in the wedding. And yes, Bear will be in the wedding. he will actually be walked down the aisle by our good friend,
Vanessa
Grimaldi. She will be walking. They have like this on again, off again relationship. It's super dramatic. But as of right now,
congratulations to her and Danielle for winning Fear Factor, by the way.
Yeah, congratulations. If you guys haven't seen it, check out Fear Factor. And we just gave you a really big spoiler, so I'm sorry. But yes, Bear will be at the wedding with his date, Vanessa.
Can I look?
No. Answered those two. What has been your favorite and least favorite part about wedding planning?
Oh, money.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah. Money, 100%.
Yeah, money.
Too many companies take advantage of couples who are getting married and they just jack the price up 50%, and it's a joke. Has not been fun.
I mean, I will say that the companies that we've worked with have been really good to us.
Yes.
So thankfully, I mean, we had to seek them out though. Like
Yeah.
the process of finding like something that's affordable but also doesn't look cheap. Yeah, it's a balance.
Yep. Yeah, so we're very grateful to the vendors we have found. And my favorite part of wedding planning so far has been the flowers. We got to go to the florist and see like a mock-up of the tables. And I feel like that's when I really came alive.
They were really cool.
I love flowers. The flowers are like the most important part for me for the wedding. So definitely the florist's favorite part, least favorite part, budget. And sticking to it. Will Cody be wearing his tux or his marine blues for the wedding?
Tux.
There you have it, folks. Plain and simple. Do you already have a dress? I already answered this. I do have a dress thanks to Bridal Reflections in New York City. If you are ever looking for a wedding dress, I highly recommend going to Bridal Reflections. The selection of gowns that they have there are absolutely stunning. There is not a single tacky or cheap looking dress there. They're all gorgeous and they're so reasonably priced. I went to a bunch of places and they were just so outrageously priced and did not look like the quality, and I walked into Bridal Reflections and fell in love with about 30 dresses. So check out Bridal Reflections in Manhattan on 5th Ave. What is the hardest thing, item or decoration, to track down? The hardest thing so far has been like, actually I didn't expect this to be hard, but like the plates and the silverware and the glasses, I can't really find like a vendor who like the quality is great and it's affordable. That's actually been the hardest thing, and we haven't locked one in yet. So if you do know somebody who works with that vendor, I actually don't know what kind of a vendor it's called, but like tabletop vendors, please like email us, leave a comment below, because we cannot find a good like place setting.
Is there anything else we're looking for?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything else is locked in?
Pretty much. Yeah, for the most part. I wanted you to answer this one. When did you realize the other person was the one?
Oh, pretty quick. What?
All right, that wasn't as fun as I expected. Are you going to televise the wedding?
I feel like we've answered that a lot, though.
Yeah, but I just love to hear it.
Oh.
It was more for me than for them.
There was what a lot of people didn't see is in the jury house every Friday when somebody else would come into the house, they would bring out the production crew and they would videotape us and interview us, obviously. And right away when I got to the jury house, they would ask me questions about Jessica, and I was like, oh, I was on point, just answering them all. And then they would come in the next Friday and they would ask me the same exact questions about Jessica. And I'm like, well, y'all already have the footage about this. I don't know why I'm answering this, but okay. So then I'm answering again. And then they come in the next Friday. And they ask, it got to the point where the amount of times they were asking, like you could see the life of the question, like the answers being drained out of it. So
I didn't know
that.
It's
not, don't think that I,
You're just used to like asking the same question.
Yeah,
it's
I've been answering the same question over and over again.
It's funny that you say that, because every episode since you were evicted, I would sit in front of my TV like foaming at the mouth, hoping for a jury segment. And when they did have a jury segment and they did show you, I was like, oh my God, I hope he mentions me. I want to hear something. And then you never did. They never showed you talking about me ever.
Quite a
and
bit.
I was just like, well, how am I supposed to get by for 7 weeks if I can't get like a little something? It's just like you telling Raven she's an idiot or something like that. And that's great. That's entertaining. But like, talk about me a little bit more.
All right, we did.
Damn you, production.
Make me a producer and I'll change it.
Are you going to televise the wedding? This was asked a whole bunch. We haven't had anyone ask us to televise the wedding. There hasn't been interest from any kind of network or anything like that. So if it wasn't an option, then it's something that we would definitely consider, but we have not been offered.
If it helped pay for the wedding, I would love it.
Yeah, so I don't know. Contact your local networks. How involved is Cody in the wedding planning?
As involved as I need to be. I stay out of it when I need to, and I answer when I need to, but I don't think I have the we don't agree on a lot of things as far as taste. I mean, just the other night, it's like taste in movies.
Hate his taste in movies.
Complete opposite.
The worst.
And usually on a lot of different things, we have different outcomes of opinions. TV shows, reality shows, things like that. It's not necessarily the same with the wedding, because she's got the quality eye for it. I don't, and I very much accept that. So for me to have much input as far as quality goes, it probably wouldn't be good, because I would just look for the most affordable route.
Yeah, it would be a downgrade.
Yeah.
Anything?
It's best if I stay right on the outer fringe, you know?
All right, so here's the question not asked by the audience. Would you change anything, like ignoring the price tag that I've racked up, but would you change anything, and would you rather have something else than something that I've like presented?
No, just because simple things make me happy, and the fact that Texas Roadhouse was approved right away, I've been flying high ever since. So it's one of those deals, you know. This will be our one and only wedding, so why not?
All I have to do to make him happy,
I'm happy.
The only thing I have to do to make him happy is have Texas Roadhouse cater and make sure there's like 30 cases of Dr. Pepper 10, and I think
that'd be cool.
Look at that smile.
Oh, we don't really drink much, so
yeah. So you want Dr. Pepper 10?
It's probably
He hasn't asked for that yet, and I'm shocked. But like, it's already been on my mind. There has to be cases.
It won't be difficult to make happen.
He'll walk down the aisle with his own personal case of Dr. Pepper 10. Okay, moving on. We're almost done. On a scale from one to Bridezilla, where would you rate yourself? Where would you rate me?
She's been pretty good. Actually, every time we've gone to somewhere and looked at stuff, I mean, these people, it's pretty flawless. Hasn't really been much of an issue. There's always some option that Jessica likes there. Getting to whatever point to figure it out. I don't know. I guess it takes the normal amount of time. I don't really know what I'm saying. Not.
I'm not a Bridezilla. There you go. I think I've only had one like anxiety filled moment with the whole wedding process planning, and that's because Cody has a groomsman who has a very long beard.
Ooh,
and I wanted all the men to be clean shaven. So luckily he's going to shave for the wedding, but the idea of having like a very like long and curly
my buddy Evan has
beard.
An enormous beard right now. He has the ability to, I mean, grow that thing just in a few weeks. So it's actually not too much of a big deal, I would think, for him to shave it. But I think he's been going at it for a while with this beard. He's gonna have it for the bachelorette party. So we'll see a bunch of pictures of him with that.
I'm gonna be staring at him from across the table while he's eating, just to like figure out how much food gets trapped in that thing.
Hey, he's proud of it.
I'm grossed out. Will Cody be smiling on your wedding day?
Have you seen the finale when I first see Jessica? That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, he'll be smiling. If we're lucky, there might be a tear shed.
No, there won't be a tear shed.
Okay, a couple of people asked this question. Who will be walking me down the aisle since my dad passed away and won't be able to do it? That question, I'm going to be walking down the aisle by myself. It was actually like the night that my dad passed away. That was one of like the very first thoughts in my mind was like, hey, he's going to miss this like monumental moment in your life. And for a while, I like did not want to get married for that one like specific reason, because it sucks, like whatever. But you obviously meet the right person, and that changes your mind. And I don't know if I ever told you that I didn't want to get married. I think like
You've said it a couple times.
Did I? Yeah, for a very long time after my dad passed, I didn't want to get married for that very specific moment. So I just didn't feel right having anybody else fill that void. I feel like he will be there with me in spirit, and I didn't want anybody else there. I feel like he'll be there, so I'm going to be walking by myself with my dad by my side and in spirit.
That'd be cool.
So, yeah, that's pretty much all of our wedding planning right now.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Hopefully y'all make it through 30 minutes of this video. There's not much I gotta edit out, so.
Well, thank you guys for watching. If you loved something that I said about our wedding, comment it below. If you have a great vendor that you want to suggest, definitely leave it below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it, and definitely subscribe so we can hit that 100,000 by New Year's.
Oh yeah, we're approaching it. We get like a little button if we get to the 100,000 mark.
We really want the button. Tell your friends about our channel. Bye.
We'll do, yeah.